All right, everybody. So about 15 months ago, I stood up here and shared two different travel scenarios for us to think about. In the first scenario, your Uber driver shows up late, no communication, there's no help with luggage, unloading or loading, airport lines are a mess, nothing feels clear or coordinated, and by the time you reach your destination, you think to yourself, was it even worth it? In the second scenario, things feel completely different. Your driver sends a text 30 minutes before arriving. You walk out, they're waiting for you to load your luggage into a clean and empty trunk. Airport arrival is smooth and seamless, curbside check-in, efficient TSA lines, and even though your gate was changed and the flight was delayed by 20 minutes, updates were delivered directly to your phone, and the gate agents couldn't be more helpful. As you reach your destination and actually start your vacation, you're not just relieved about the first-class travel experience, but you're rested and ready to do what it is you had planned. As you think back on the past year and change since we've started this journey, which experience feels more familiar to you? Maybe it's not one or the other completely, but a combination of both. Maybe parts of the trip went well, but then something broke down at a key moment. Maybe there was turbulence, but because it was communicated clearly and people stayed aligned, it still felt manageable. If your experience has been anything like mine, it's not been one scenario or the other, but a mixture of both. We certainly have examples of scenario number one. A quote takes me longer than it should. When it finally becomes an order, there's questions about part specs, artwork requirements, routing guidelines. Customers pissed, the team wondering if anybody has a clue what they're supposed to be doing. Production struggles through a mismatched die situation, but ultimately completes their part. But we missed the team's message to send the box next day air because the original order said cheapest way. These moments are deflating and demoralizing. Thankfully, that's not our standard because we have plenty of examples of scenario number two. Customer calls in a panic. They forgot to order something before they went on vacation last week. Now their line's shut down. CXT puts the order in, production makes it hot, next job up, and despite having to split some material, shipping gets it scheduled and we get it out the door that same day. We all know we've got both of those types of stories going on here. But if I'm being honest, our reality sits somewhere in the middle. Maybe the order comes in clean, but the artwork is missing or is unusable. Two people jump in to help, only to realize that neither one had the full picture. 2 days later, we finally get alignment. Job moves forward, but the pressure builds. The order's now hot. Emails and Teams messages are flying from all sides. Shipping gets everything scheduled, only to realize some special paperwork is required to get across the border. We tell Jeff from UPS to circle the block and come back. 4:15, we load it on the truck. Damn, that was close. Customer receives the shipment by Monday at 10:30, and all's well that ends well, right? Sort of. Despite the outcome being what we want, the process to get there is not something that we can sustain. It's not predictable, it's not repeatable, it's haphazard, accidental, and requires a lot of luck. With 2 years left in our current vision, it's no secret that we're not where we want to be. We are still experiencing many of the great results and outcomes that we expect, but it's not just about the what, it's about the how. So the packet that you have in front of you, as you've probably looked through a little bit, it includes a lot of information. We're not going to go through all of it today. You will see the current status of our Q1 priorities, which were overwhelmingly successful, but there is still some work left to be done. So you will see a recap of what we accomplished and what's still left to finish. You will also see our 6 priorities for Q2 and the various success statements that we have for each one of those. Don't worry about all the red. That's why we picked them. And finally, you will see a more detailed information about the vision charter as a whole and the 6 pillars that support it and where we stand with 2 years to go. This is not something I would expect you to digest by the end of the weekend or even by the end of the month. It's something for you to review and reflect on over time, and with the help and support of your team leads and myself, whenever you have questions, just let us know. There's also a visual in there that shows where we would be on our journey if we were traveling cross country. Right now, if we were going from New York to Phoenix, we'd be in Memphis, Tennessee. So we've got a little bit of a flight left to go. And while we still have a ways to go, we're closer to the halfway point than we are to the departing airport. And as we gain momentum here, as we're getting busy, there are two priorities that are going to require everybody's focus that we're working on this quarter. The first one is our quality control and QC process. The second is internal communication. Each and every one of us has an impact on both of these areas, and both of these areas are where some issues have been occurring more frequently than they have in the past. Almost everyone has signed and returned their commitment to a mindset of issues create opportunities. So I'm confident that we are ready to address these head on as a team. So as we move through Q2, here is what I need from each one of you. First, pay attention to the handoff points. Where does your part of the process impact somebody else down the line? Second, communicate early and clearly. Not once things have gone sideways, but before they do. And third, treat issues like opportunities. Not something to hide, not something to blame on someone else, but it's something that we can learn from and improve together. If we do that consistently, we do not have to rely on heroics, last-second luck, or last-minute saves to get the outcome that we want. We create a business that works better on purpose and one that is more predictable, more repeatable, and healthier for all of us inside of it. Before we wrap up today, each of you have a mission plaque to take with you that says a great company with great people experiencing great results. My hope is that this becomes more than something that you set on your workstation or your desk. I hope you put it somewhere prominent and let it serve as a daily reminder of what we're building together and the role that you play personally in it. A great company does not happen by accident. It's built by great people making intentional choices every single day. How we communicate matters, how we check our work matters, how we hand things off matter, and how we respond when things go wrong matters. And when we stay committed to these things, the great results are not accidental anymore, but they are the natural outcome of doing what we say we're going to do. We're not where we want to be yet, but we are also far beyond where we've ever been. We've made real progress and we've got the right priorities in front of us, and we have the team that's capable of doing this work. So let the plaque serve as not only a reminder, but a challenge. A reminder of what we're building and a challenge to personally live it out each day in the role that you've been given. So thank you to everyone for what you've done this far, and let's keep building it together.